A warm welcome back. You are still watching Morning Live. Now, it was a bag of mixed results for South African teams this past weekend. Fans went from celebrating Bafana's qualification for AFCON 2025 to the disappointment of the Proteas losing to India. Saturday was more of the same as the Springboks won against England. However, Sundowns Ladies could not defend their Champions League trophy. To talk to us about this, we've roped in award-winning sport journalist Khanyiso Tshwaku. Khanyiso, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's start off our discussion just looking at Bafana and that 2-0 victory they got against Uganda and, of course, qualifying for AFCON 2025.
Good morning, Z. One of the things that are very enjoyable about Bafana is that when they are not under pressure, they actually tend to play the best. I remember when they actually qualified for AFCON, the previous AFCON, they had to play Morocco. They played one of the best games of football. They did pretty much the same. On Friday, they knew that qualification was guaranteed after the Congo South Sudan result. So they went and actually got the job done. So one thing we now need to see is how many changes will be made for tomorrow's game in Cape Town, and also will they be able to continue with that momentum through the World Cup qualifiers.
And I mean, we did see Coach Hugo Bruce making those substitutes that seemed to make all the difference coming into the second half of that clash. But I want to move on and speak about the Proteas and how they lost a home series by 3-1. What do you make overall of the team's performance and perhaps just that pressure of captaincy that Aiden Markram seems to be carrying?
There is a bigger picture, but unfortunately the bigger picture now has been clouded by the fact that they haven't won a series since 2022 and they beat Ireland in 2023. So you can have a bigger picture in terms of building toward the tournament, but you also need to have results here and there to make sure that at least the project makes sense. Aiden Markram's form is a very, very big concern at the moment because you can't be in a position as a captain where you're not scoring runs. Yes, so often you have longer rope as captain, but the fact that he's gone 2 years without scoring a 50 and also had quite a very bad.
All right, we do see me.
Does need to be a bit of a problem. So we need, as the Proteas now approach the next set of challenges, which is Sri Lanka.
Okay, thank you so much, Khanyiso. Sorry, we did seem to have a communication breakdown there for a moment. We hear what you're saying about the Proteas. I want to move on to another national team, that being the Springboks, and their results being the opposite of what we witnessed with the Proteas, securing that victory out in Twickenham against England, and of course looking forward to Wales this upcoming weekend.
Look, the Boks are clear in the mandate that they want to win. I don't. Gassi did make it clear before the tour that they are to win. I think they don't put much of a opinion on how they go about their business. Again, they weren't at their best on Saturday, but they won. And I think that's the mentality of a championship of a championship winning team. That when they'll find opportunities to score. I mean, if you look at the second try scored by Peter Stephen, that was a half chance, a double charge down. So the Boks will know that Ireland Wales will be very dangerous, especially the fact that they've just come off a very bad defeat against Australia. They've lost even matches on the bounce. But they've got one more game this year left to play as best as they could, and they want to prove a point against the Springboks. But again, the Springboks haven't played well on this tour, but they've got results, and the results is clearly what they're chasing.
What are your thoughts in terms of how Coach Rassie is going to line up the team for this upcoming weekend? Do you see major changes coming through to that starting 15, or do you see him reverting back to the team that played 2 weeks ago?
I think there'll be a mix and match. I won't be surprised if Cameron Hanekom gets a Springbok debut. If William Rue getting an opportunity to play his 99th Test match. So I suspect that there will be changes here and there, but I think the clear part from Rassie is there will be opportunities for players who may not have got a chance to play on this tour. But I think the mandate will be very clear that they just need to beat Wales. I don't think that Rassie will put a premium on how they perform. It's just the fact that they need to beat Wales. Remember now, the Boks have played 12 tests, they've won. Rassie's made so many changes, they've still been able to get results. It's probably the one thing he's been very happy with, and they want to clear it up with the win on Saturday.
All right, so it's victories for the Springboks against Scotland as well as England, and next up for them is Wales. And as we wrap up our conversation, disappointing showing for South Africa out at the Champions League, because we had UWC fallout as well as the defending champions in Sundowns 2-1 loss against Edo Queens of Nigeria. Many thought they were going to secure a victory against the Edo Queens and go on to play as far in the semis.
Look, every so often the Sundowns women's team does have one good would run back. So remember that they were the inaugural winners of the tournament. Then they flopped in the final when they lost as far. So it's one of those where, again, it's far easier to actually go on and win the tournament than defending it. Also, they've had a very long season. I mean, they had to make a very hard push of defending the Hollywood Bet League. And then they were also, the bulk of the players also committed to international duty. So it's just one of those where the tournament just came at the end of a very long year for the team. And just raising yourself one more time, especially when you're defending champion, this proves to be difficult. I suspect that next year they'll come back hard and strong. And I think for UWC, it was a worthwhile experience, and especially having to go through the COSAFA qualifiers, got through those, having lost the opening game, and made sure that they actually got to the final and won that, and they giving themselves an opportunity to play in the CAF Champions or CAF Women's Champions League is probably a bigger, far more rewarding experience for them.
Thank you so much, Khanyiso. Always a pleasure speaking to you. That is Khanyiso Tshwaku, of course, joining us right here on Morning Live. He is an award-winning sports journalist, and he does say it was good experience for Coach Tinasonke Mbuli of UWC as well as her troops, and for Mamelodi Sundowns, unfortunately unable to get the opportunity to go ahead and defend their title as the champions of the African continent.